Hi guys, Masquera say. I don't know what is happening with my system, but I hope it is going to allow me to come through. Masquera say. Very good afternoon. So today we want to look at the attack on Nelson Chamisa by Jonathan Moyo, by Edmund Kudzai, and really going on. Why are they attacking Advocate Fadzai Mahere? Why are they attacking Nelson Chamisa? Why are they putting all the information they are putting in the public domain? So there is an audio. It is a video. It is a very long video, but I'm going to play it so that you understand the bitterness of people like Edmund Kudzai and people like Jonathan Moore. So when they were helping Nelson Chamisa campaign whatsoever, yeah, it was an issue of benefits. What do I get after I do this? What is the benefit after I do this? It's like when I come here, if I attach my job here to benefits, it becomes a problem when I fail to get those benefits. And if you are expecting something, you end up retaliating. You end up misusing the information, trust information you got from the people who trusted you at a certain point in time. And this is the problem we have with people like Edmund Kudzai, Jonathan Moore. These are the people who are abusing information they might have gotten in trust. So I'm going to play this video. I need you to listen carefully. Then we get to the conclusion of that matter, because this is a very important issue. This is a very this is one of the reasons why we decided to come here on this platform to make videos each and every day. It's because of people like this. So let's get into the video.
Now, the question is, if history is to be read, at what position do I want to find myself? People assume that I'm being malicious. I'm not. I spoke to Nelson, and probably is the last phone call I'll have with Nelson. When you're in an election campaign, people fight through newspapers and the media, and they use it as a political tool of emotional violence. And we live in a society where people think that's fine. The journalist is abducted and tortured. I knew it was going to be brutal. I've got messages from Magaisa. Are they going to perjure themselves? Why do you allow your spokesperson, Murapata knows the truth? There are certain things we can't accept in a society.
What is the most important thing that the people of Zimbabwe need to know? I need them to understand me.
Yeah, so, vanhu avadzamise pfungwa kunzi chii chiri kuitika iseyo. When I was 26 years old, I was introduced to some of the highest levels of MID. Ndakaendeswa naJonathan Moyo. I've worked with sensitive information for the past 10 years of my life. Sensitive, high-level information. Now, and I can't suddenly, of all the people I've worked with, suddenly start talking about one. So the whole suggestion, oh no, you're betraying confidence, oh no, you're full of envy and so on, it's absurd. Something happened. And this is what I'm trying to awaken the public to, that there's something that happened between my relationship and Nelson. And the public perhaps doesn't quite understand the extent of that relationship. As Munwem Road, Road, he's my brother in Christ. Nelson, he's my brother. So, and one of the parts that, just to illustrate that I'm not looking for conflict, I was never looking for conflict. When I spoke to NC, and we spoke for about 1.5 hours, I said to him, look, let's go before Bishop Tudor Bismarck. He's a man of wisdom. Imogara kusaiduku, indogara kusaiduku. Motaura nyaya yenyu, indotaura nyaya yangu. Toti va Bismarck tienzanise. And wune kunge he would find in your favor. But I'm prepared to do that. He didn't accept the challenge. So it's not like I'm some guy throwing stones. I worked with Nelson. I brought Professor Moyo to Nelson. Professor Moyo, early 2018. Ndakavati, Professor ngati basireka mkomana manyi chinichi. He laughed. he laughed and he says, yeah, Nelson is not presidential material. And it took me 3 weeks of probing until he relented. Okay, if you believe in this guy, let's do it. And that's when we started working for the guy. And the work we weren't doing weren't videos, and like doing radio, TV, and print ads, and that's what you're doing. No, there was serious politics happening behind. When you're in an election campaign, people fight through newspapers and the media. But direct. So what they do is they go to the media and they sell information, you see. So part of an election campaign is enemy research, of course. Now you assume the guys on the other side are getting whatever they can to use against you. So this is one of the roles yet I monitor media. Okay, it's a kind of like a counterintelligence thing if one is to elevate it. But it's simple. You're looking at who are the most virulent guys and you're finding a way to approach them from the back and saying, look, I'm looking for some information, and then you buy whatever they have and you take it out of the marketplace. All this while they're expecting that then bang, the election is gone. So that information came into my hands. We didn't even tell Nelson that we were intercepting this stuff and blocking it because we wanted the guy to win. And you're going to hear one of these recordings. I'm still finding a way, trying to think how best to package it. I'm consulting a few people. But this is a recording that we intercepted. If you listen to that Nelson, the Nelson that I believed in, and then you listen to the Nelson today, these are two very different people. Now, I don't want people to think that I'm being malicious. I'm not being malicious. I'm not being malicious. But the question for myself is, if history is to be read, because effectively what we have are two sides of the same coin. We think that ZANU-PF is the problem, but what we have is a societal problem. And you can observe that societal problem, the violence, even in the opposition. Structures. The response is, no, Muringo Chani, Murgitara Som Edmund, you see, and this is being said, but it's not condemned. You say, and one is ZANU-PF. Say, no, you're a coward. Jonathan Moyo, you're a coward. Hey, you've got no courage, a man with no courage to face dictatorship. This is a response to an intellectual argument. Kunzi, look, you must establish my structures. And this is not a new conversation. Chin Chakataurwa, 2018. I've got messages from Magaisa. Ashtaura, same thing, Kunzi. These people are mistaking Marali for my structures. I is a strategy. So I is nyaye. So now the question is, when you look at all that's happening and you can predict what's going to happen, even if Nelson becomes president, I don't doubt that he eventually will. Probably not in 2023, but the guy is popular. If he plays his cards right, he probably will become president. But what is it going to deliver? Now, the question is, if history is to be read, at what position do I want to find myself? Do I want to be the guy who then says, I know this thing, or do I want to be the guy who just stood up and told the country the truth? I think I would rather be the guy, even if it means I'm going to be the white demon. I'd rather be the guy who says, look, I just told the people the truth. Now, Nyaya Mahere, people assume that I'm being malicious. I'm not. I spoke to Nelson, and I suspect it was a frank conversation. It probably is the last phone call I'll have with Nelson. About 2 weeks ago, we spoke for about 90 minutes. And what I was trying to say to him is that you're not being decent with us. Tinoita kunge tiri vanhu vakauya vachitsvaga mabasa kana mari kwamuri, basi tiri vanhu vakauya kunokubatsirai, takakubatsirai zvakanyanyisa. Why do you allow your spokesperson kuti ati professor murumane 64 years kunzi you're a man without courage, a coward, nekuti akatiza pfuti? How do you allow that? And we live in a society where people think that's fine. Vanhu vanotora mwana wemunhu akafa, you see, and they use it as a political tool of emotional violence. Vanotora mavideo munhu achichema mwana wake parufu. Machisa isi wanachiseka. I spoke to Nelson. I said, you must condemn this. If you can't condemn this violence in cyberspace, what makes me believe that somehow you do some deal and you end up in power and a journalist is abducted and tortured, that you will speak out? So this is the nature of my dispute. I tried my best. Mahere sent Hamayangu, who's one of her close friends, and said to me, look, kundaita say, why am I the first on Edmund's list? And so all through this thing, and I'd said 10 a.m., I said to myself, look, let me try and resolve this thing. And I'm going to get into it later on in another podcast and talk about the details of what was really going on. And let me hold back perhaps. Do I really want to start this thing? Because I knew it was going to be brutal. Because it's, it's brutal. Yeah, I expect no less. It's going to be brutal. So I spoke to him. I tried to say, look, stop this thing. Chamurgija Professor Moyo twataranyema structures imosi avanhu venyu maspoksenyu achivatuka kudai mune chikwereti chamunacho. You're putting him in a very difficult position, and you're putting me in a difficult position as well. I spoke to Maera Katumira Amake, and I said, because I started talking. I spoke to Tavani Mpofu about a charter of values. Because there are certain things we can't accept in a society. There are certain things that we must denounce.
So, guys, you have heard Edmund Kudzai speaking here. Let me try to figure out the last part of this conversation. Okay, let me put the last part of the conversation here.
We spoke, I tried, but in the time while Hama phone late at night the day before, tikachaura for about an hour. He says, let me back off. I didn't know what to time frame. You see, I read. And even when I spoke to Nelson, he said to me, look, I agree with you, but I would not want to take action now because it will seem like punishment. I see if I do that before the time post, I see, which I thought was fair play. But in this time, while I think these guys are suing for peace, Mahere and his sister Stephanie and others are going around putting a clock here. When I 10 Zachaya, 12 Zachaya, Onai, you see, look at this guy as a liar. And I'm thinking to myself, so these people really must take me for a fool. You know? On one end, to say, no, don't do it. We are working on this thing. We agree with you. This is not proper conduct and so on. But on the other hand, they are posturing for the public. It's the same thing with the lawsuit. She knows the truth. Murapata knows the truth. Are they going to perjure themselves? Do they really think I'm stupid enough to have gotten myself into a position where I'm facing $100,000 lawsuit? Do you see now what constitutes as compelling evidence? It's absurd. I'm not a kid. I'm not a stupid guy. I know what I'm talking about. Mahere, akaputsa musha woman's mai. That's the long and short of it. Anyway, I think I've said enough for today. It's going to be, I don't think we can solve this problem in a matter of days. It's going to be a few months, but at the end of it, I hope that the public will recognize that none of this is malicious. We're just trying to sort out this country, and the problem is at a societal level. And I'll do what I can to play my part in history. Let's see how it goes. Thank you.
So you have heard from Edmund Kudzai speaking. Basically, you can actually see that this is a bitter man. This is a man who expected to be given a position. This is a man who expects a lot from the government led by Advocate Chamisa. And this is the problem we have. When I came the other day and I tried to speak about the power of Nelson Chamisa, these are the issues I was trying to highlight. We have people who feel entitled to things, who feel that they are entitled to positions. So when I'm doing anything for CCC, when I'm campaigning for CCC, I must not expect a position. My agenda to campaign for CCC is not to get a position, is not to get on, but to get freedom in the nation of Zimbabwe, is to get a better Zimbabwe, is to secure the future of my kids. That is the reason why we are campaigning for Nelson Chamisa. So we have people who are campaigning for Nelson Chamisa because they want prestige. They want chisu tistakachisimuza chino. And you can hear from this man speaking. You can hear from Edmund Kudzai speaking that these are the people who want mbiri, vadonzi ndivo vakasimudza nyika. Tisitakazoisinungura, dai tisirisu Chamisa akaluza. These are the kind of people we are dealing with here. And those people can do anything possible, they can do it for the sake of money. These are the people who can sell the struggle on the last minute for the sake of money. These are the people who can sell the struggle on the last minute for the sake of positions. These are the people who want to know which position will I occupy in this new government. Those are not good. The reason why they are pushing for all these things is to know kuti tichange takagara pa front seat here kana kuti ku back seat. So some of us, we don't care. Even if we go to the back seat, we are okay because we want to pursue business. We want to do business. We want you to be millionaires. We want you to look for money. We want to pursue money. We want to be investors. So you can actually see that that area, how are you doing your things? Is different from Ndrikurwira kuita minister. It's different. Why? You can only have fixed ministerial positions, but you can't have fixed millionaire positions. That is the difference here. You can't have fixed investment positions. That is a difference here. So our fights are different. They are fighting. These are the people who dreamt to be ministers, who dreamt to be part of the government, who dreamt to be. And they feel entitled. That is the reason why they are attacking. They're saying we are going to expose, we are going to do or A, B, C, D. Whatever information they have, it does not matter to the people of Zimbabwe, does not matter to us. What matters to us is to have change in the nation of Zimbabwe. What matters to us is to have clean water, is to have free energy, is to have free education, free healthcare system, better infrastructure. These are the things which matters to us. So, okay. So you can actually see that these are the issues we are facing as a people. These are the thing we are facing as young people. While these people like Edmund Kudzai, they brag about their connections in the military intelligence, they brag about their connections in various state enterprises or state organizations, not knowing that there are people who are more connected than them. There are people with much information than them, but they don't speak about that information. They don't talk about that information. We have intercepted a lot of information as well. There is information, sometimes there is information which comes through us, but we deal with that information quietly and we don't even talk about it to anybody because it doesn't concern us in the struggle. That is not going to help us to win the elections. Our mandate, our aim is to win the elections. Yet we have people who are saying to structure, to structure. Why are they forcing for structures? It's because they want to know who goes where. That is their agenda. So is it a government in 2023 President Nelson Chamisa will surprise us with a government yatatisina kutarisira. Inini ndakatarisira kuti Ningi ndiye achaita minister, Ningi ndiye achapiwa chigaro chakati Ningi. It's true that a surprise. President Nelson Chamisa ngavauye a government in a full of surprises, a government which is not compromised, a government which is going to bring new things on board, not a government full of people who were running propaganda all over. So people who are in this struggle for positions are very problematic to us because they derail the struggle. If you are offered a better position elsewhere, you leave the struggle for that position. When you are in a competition and when, let's say you are playing for a certain club, you are playing for Dynamos. If Chicken Inn comes and gives you a better contract or a better offer, you leave Dynamos and you go to Chicken Inn. That is different with us. We are not here because of value of anything. We are here because of change. We are here because we want a better Zimbabwe. We want a functional Zimbabwe. I cannot go gray hair without achieving my dreams in a nation. These are the things we are fighting for. I cannot fail to send my kids to school. I cannot fail to send my children to better hospitals. So you can actually see that these are the people we are dealing with. That is the reason why we have decided to come and have a dilution in these platforms. We are fighting people who comes and say, Zombo Chamisa zvakaenda septwa. These are the kind of people we are dealing with, propagandists. Why are they doing so? It's because Muno akapiwa land kukariba. Apiwa land kukariba is now attacking Nelson Chamisa for the benefit yake, a personal benefit yake. And that is so wrong. We have so much information about them, but we don't speak about it because it doesn't concern us. We speak about what is important and what builds this nation. So you can actually see that these are the kind of people we are dealing with here. When I am in this struggle, my personal differences with Nelson Chamisa, with Kudzayi Mahere, with whoever, must not derail the struggle, must not take precedence. The nation itself must take precedence. The goal must take precedence. What is the goal? That is to remove ZANU-PF. That is to dismantle the whole system. That is our role. That is our responsibility. That is our goal. Yet we have people who are in exile, who are telling us to say, Isai vanhu pamberi, so that they can be brutalized, they can be murdered, they can be killed, they can be beaten. These are the people we are dealing with here. They tell us, Isai structure, Isaichi, so that those people can be bought, they can be compromised. It's because these guys were saying we are helping for the sake of their own benefit. And they see that there are a lot of young people who are coming up, intelligent young people who are coming up, who are building their own legacies. And these young people are threats to people like Edmund Kudzai. They are threats to people like Jonathan Moyo. Why are they threats? It's because when those young people exist, and when the president is given time to watch who is suitable for this position without any bias, they know very well that they won't qualify. These are the people who were dealing with propaganda during the Mugabe era. Vanhu vachirohwa, vanhu vachiuraiwa, Itaizamara disappearing. These were the people who were on the forefront, publishing falsehoods in the national papers, in the Herald, publishing falsehoods. Itaizamara akazoita so, Itaizamara akazoita so. These are the people who were saying when in 2008, when activists were abducted, people like Jesina Mkoko, when they were abducted, these are the same people who came in to lie to the whole world, which are abducted. And these are the people who are telling us, Nelson, Nelson is my brother, Nelson is my this, Nelson is my that. We are not doing this because of our relationships with Nelson Chamisa. We are not doing this because Nelson Chamisa achazoti chi. No, this is not about Nelson Chamisa. This is not about Kudzayi Mahere. This is not about the leadership of CCC. This is about Zimbabwe, the future of our children. This is about our future. This is about the preservation of Zimbabwe, its values, its wealth, its minerals. This is about a future. It's not about individuals. So when we have people who bring the issue of relationships in a struggle like this, that is a problem. Because the way I treat my wife, if I use things like, this is my wife, I end up giving positions to my wife, to my relatives, to my brothers. Honestly speaking, if we are to talk about something at family level, I put my brother first. I put my son first. But if it is about a nation, I consider who is most valuable to the cause. So if my wife is not cannot perform a task, I can't put my wife where I know that she can't perform. She is my wife, yes, but I cannot put her in a position. Why? It's because she can't deliver. This is the scenario where they are trying to create, where they try to create relationships. Here we are dealing with what ideas do you have, Fadzai Mahere? Kudzayi represents her ideas on paper. She presents her ideas in front of everybody. So if she does have better ideas than me, she takes the position. If she does have better ideas than you, she takes the position. The reason why Kudzayi is attacked is because, number one, Kudzayi is in the communication department, which means if Nelson Chamisa forms a government, the probability that Kudzayi will be the Minister of Information is very high. The probability is very high. The probability that Ostalo Sizwa might be a Minister of Information is very high. The probability that Ostalo Sizwa might be a permanent secretary of the Ministry of Information is very high. And just imagine somebody like Edmund Kudzai eyeing the same post to be the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Information or to be the minister himself. Just look at it. Just look at people like Jonathan Moyo eyeing the VP post and Edmund Kudzai eyeing the Ministry of Information post. Just imagine what they can do if they see brilliant young people like Kudzayi Mahere, like Ostalo Sizwa occupying those positions and doing a good job. So you can actually see that this is the reason why they are saying, he clearly said Nelson Chamisa owes us. How does Nelson Chamisa owe you? Because he didn't force you to be in that struggle. He didn't force you to do anything for him. Myself personally, nobody owes me anything. Nobody owes me anything. Nobody owes anyone anything in the struggle for a better Zimbabwe. You owe your children. Edmund Kudzai, you owe your children. Nelson Chamisa, if anything, if he owes anything to the people of Zimbabwe, not to Edmund Kudzai and Jonathan Moyo. Nelson Chamisa does have a responsibility to answer to the people of Zimbabwe, not to Edmund Kudzai and Professor Jonathan Moyo. So this is the reason why we see all these people sprouting up like mushrooms everywhere. Here, this is the reason why they hold mass spaces on Twitter. They go on various interviews denigrating the leadership. If your idea is not accepted, accept that your idea is not better than Yevangu. You are not the only person with ideas. You don't have any monopoly over ideas. So thank you very much. I'm going to take a few comments because I don't want to go past 30 minutes. Okay, let me check. Yeah. Ango Max Mandevera Gara Tengesi, it's in their bloodline, and these homosexuals. Uncle Max, I want to clear this. Ndebele people, to me, they are very good people. They are very nice people. Why? Personally, I have close relatives who are Ndebele in the families. So you cannot say that to Ndebele people. You cannot blanket everybody to say, if you disagree with one person, you cannot blanket everybody. We have Shangani people, we have Tonga people, we have Ndebele people, Shona people. We have various languages in the nation of Zimbabwe. You don't judge them according to the people you hate. You judge people individually. If you hate Professor Jonathan Moyo, face Professor Jonathan Moyo, leave out the Ndebele tribe, leave out the Shangani, the Shona tribe. This is not a tribal platform. This is a platform for every Zimbabwean, every African. This is the platform of everyone. So I want to make that point clear so that we don't create problems. Anzi Salmodan ngiyaphila kodwa umawisana lona phansi enkulu ngiyaphila mina ngiyazi ukuthi ngiso responda kuthini bano bafo Zincube. Thank you very much. Edmund, if somebody can interpret this message for me, please do. If there is somebody who can interpret this message from Zimbabwe for me, please assist so that I can respond to him before I end this program. Jackie Ngwenya, Edmund, what you are saying cannot help us. You are just making noise. Okay, Jonathan. Lord Balish, Jonathan Moyo is a double-headed reptile, not to be trusted at all. Sabio Mashara and the Murukuti Apo. Okay, the issue here is that Edmund Kudzai is claiming that Nelson Chamisa owes him, together with Jonathan Moyo, a lot of things, just because they are claiming that they assisted Nelson Chamisa in terms of my campaigns in whatsoever. When they did that from their hearts, not from a point where they wanted benefits or to blackmail anybody. We are fighting this struggle for the sake of change, not for the sake of personal agendas. No, that is not it. We are fighting this because we want a better Zimbabwe for our children. We are doing this for the next generations, not for ourselves, not for positions whatsoever. Lord Bailey, let's not be tribalistic here, please. Yes, I agree with you. Thank you very much for that. We don't need tribal comments here. We don't need them at all. And personally, if I feel that you are tribalistic here, I block you from here so that you won't watch my interviews once again. You won't comment here. I bar you from here. If you are tribalistic, go here. We are Zimbabweans, we are Africans, and nothing more, nothing less. So, okay, Anzi, true, our country is enemies because of people who have a serious sense of entitlement. Yes. Munozati is not the words that you see some people who think that if your idea is not taken on board, you feel that other people who contributed are useless. I don't know everything. You don't know everything. If your idea is accepted, I must accept that. If my idea is accepted, you must accept that. That is how we build nations. That is how we build a better Zimbabwe. What we can even do is that when you offer an idea, I can even offer to say, okay, this is a good idea. Then in the add on your idea so that we improve that idea. But this case of entitlement, kana vanagamba kwevashaya nyaya Edmund Kudzai vasina zvekutaura ngavati nyararaiwo kukundwa nemukadzi ari kumirira ruzhinji rwevanhu siyanai nemwana uyo Kudzai my related Kudzi my related do her job. Yes, I agree with you. Let Fadzai Maere do her job. Personally, I was motivated by Advocate Fadzai Mahere to become more active in politics. I was motivated by Advocate Fadzai Mahere, not because I know her personally, but because of what she was doing. Her campaign in 2018 was one of the most fabulous campaigns I have ever seen. Listen to her ideas. That's how you will see that these are the people who know what needs to be done. And that is the reason why they are where they are. That is the reason why we are following them. We are not following them because she is a woman, because she is beautiful, or she is what. No. We are following her because she is doing something. She is contributing something which is very important. That is what we need. So personally, I don't agree with people who say when they disagree with ladies or when they are conquered with ladies, they begin to throw my mama, what. These are that shows that you are a weakling. You are not a man. Honestly speaking, Jonathan Moyo and Kudzayi Edmund, you are not men. You are not men. Because face men, come here on this platform. Face me. Let's not put insults. Let's not call people for blackmail mangwana. There are a lot of people who call us. They begin to tell us stories, and you feel with Munu and the way he's attacking Mangwana, he's trying to get information from you so that Mangwana will blackmail. So these are the people we are dealing with here. So this must end. Honestly, Zimbabweans, this issue of blackmailing people must end. You cannot get a position through blackmail. That is the reason why we come here to say some things. There are some sensitive issues. There is an issue which I came with, I'm not sure about you and whatsoever. That issue is very sensitive, and there are people who are there to blackmail other people. That is the reason why I brought that issue. I know that is a very sensitive and dangerous issue, but I brought it because there are people who feel that they can blackmail other people at will. So sometimes I say things so as to show some people that I know that they have I have some information. So they must speak knowing my boundaries. So you can actually see that Team Zimbabwe, we are dealing with people who love money. And when you love money more than the way you love yourself and the way you love your people, you can actually see that the love of money is the beginning of all evil. You can kill because of money. You can murder because of money. So you can actually see that these are the people we are dealing with here. So Team Zimbabwe, thank you very much for your contributions. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for your support. Let's continue to vote, to mobilize for voting. Let's continue to mobilize for change. 2023 is a different year altogether. We need to go to the elections. Whatever they are trying to bring on board. I believe in an election. I believe putting election so that we can deliver a Zimbabwe which is not compromised. These are the issues I was trying to explain in the afternoon, and I'm vindicated by people like Edmund Kudzai when they come with such blackmails. There are people who come and say, guys, there is an offer, let's go for it. Let's do this A, B, C, D. But their agenda is to blackmail you at the end of the day. So I hope and believe that everybody is going to be vigilant. Everybody, don't trust anyone. In this world, trust nobody. Suspect everybody. Because these guys are there for money. These guys are there for money. They will come, but never trust them. Never share sensitive information with anybody unless you know that information if you want to share sensitive information with somebody, share it anonymously. Don't be known because tomorrow it will backfire. We are with people like Edmund Kudzai. Very evil. Yes, I agree with you, because I'm not so happy to hear Gambakwe achitaura kuti hanzi things are working well in Zimbabwe. Whilst kune vanhu vari kuora. Guys, kune vanhu vari kuora necancer. It pains me. I'm going to I didn't want to show you the sensitive images of people who have cancer, but I'm going to bring that video for the sake of people to understand why we are in this trouble. Shona and Debele, we are all one. If someone do wrong, doesn't mean everyone else is like that. Yes, it's like when you are a man, when other men are doing bad, it doesn't mean that every man is wrong. When ladies are doing wrong, it doesn't mean that every lady is wrong. So you have to approach every situation differently. Can a professor and over wrong? Can I mean that in wrong? Don't attach other people who are innocent there. Because some of us, we have who are whole in Ndebele. So if you say in Ndebele people are this, how do I view my wife? You see, you have attacked my wife, you have attacked my grandmother, you have attacked my mother, even if I'm Shangani. You see the problem here. So we don't need to attack other people. Let's attack individuals. Let's attack chinhu chatinoti isisu chiri wrong chese munyika muno ichocho chironga uya nehondo dzese ZANU-PF. That is a system which must go. That is a system which must go. ZANU-PF is a system, it must go. That system is very, very wrong. The politics of Zimbabwe is not wrong. The system we have called ZANU-PF, very, very, very wrong and toxic. It must go. From 1980, if Mugabe he had taken Ngomo, and if he had worked with Joshua Ngomo, we would have seen a better Zimbabwe. But he tried to silence him, he tried kumudzvanyirira and whatsoever. Joshua Nkomo died asati awana maproperties ake. And why? Why? That is the kind of hatred we want to end. We need to unite this nation. We don't want to divide this nation further. We need to unite everybody, bring everybody on board. I must feel comfortable to walk in Matebeleland. I must feel comfortable to be in Matebeleland. One thing I regret is growing up without knowing all the languages of Zimbabwe. Is growing up not learning all the languages of Zimbabwe. I regret that. Because if I knew Ndebele, if I knew Tonga, if I knew all these languages, I would be very, very, very happy because I knew that ndinokwanisa communicate and ndinokwanisa blend nevanhu. So the problem is, if I go to Matebeleland today, vanhu vakatanga kutaura neNdebele, I feel threatened to tanga kuti izvi zvakutaura neNdebele vari kutaura inini. That's not it. That's not it. Let's not hate our own people. We are one nation. We are the same people. This toxic ZANU-PF has been teaching people toxic issues. Very tribalistic leaders. That is the reason why we are where we are. So thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for your support. I hope and believe that we are going to defend our party leaders. We are going to call out people like Edmund Kudzai to say, whatever information you have, whatever evidence you have, it doesn't matter, bro. Mkoma Kudzi, it doesn't matter. What matters is, are we going to have a better Zimbabwe? And definitely, when a better Zimbabwe comes, I don't hope to see people like Edmund Kudzai, who were instrumental in the destruction of Zimbabwe, like Jonathan Moyo, who were instrumental in the bills like POSA and IPA. I don't hope to see them in having oppositions in any progressive government in the nation of Zimbabwe. Anze well said, my sisters. Fortune GC, thank you for that point on languages. Thank you very much, Team Zimbabwe. I think I've elaborated. That is the reason why I speak in English. It's not that I love English, no. Ndakakura sindataure English. I grew up in an environment where we didn't speak English. I started to speak English because I was put in an environment where I was supposed to speak English. I learn English each and every day. Each and every day, I'm trying to learn English so that we can communicate without barriers. Shangani people, Shona people, Tonga people, Ndebele people, English people, everybody. We can blend. We can have a common language. So I hope that one day we will have an opportunity to learn all various languages so that we can be able to speak in our own languages as a nation, as a people. And that is what is very, very, very important. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for your support. Love you, Mr. Chamisa. Job well done. Okay, thank you very much. Inini pana vanhu zoti apabvike kana tikauya tikatangotaura nyaya idzi vavelueka munondadisa. You have wonderful people. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, so that we build this platform, we grow, so that we become influential in terms of issues to build the nation of Zimbabwe. Please, if you want to be part of this discussion, find the number up here on the WhatsApp or on the screen. Please write me a message through that number. To those who I have not responded to my WhatsApp, please, something happened to my WhatsApp. I cannot access those WhatsApp messages as soon as possible, but I hope that I will be able to rectify. The reason why I am not changing that gadget is because I fear that I might lose some information. So I just want to back up that information first, then I do whatever I want to do, because I fear to lose important messages on that thing. So if I haven't responded to you on my WhatsApp, please know that I'm going to respond to you. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for your love. Ngatingo subscribe, ngatingo like, tika like tese zvacho zvinobva zvatanga kufamba. I love you all. Ngatisangane in other programs. Ndichauya nenyaya yevanhu vari kurarama necancer. I'm going to put the video evidence. I am still preparing the evidence so that when I come, I put it on screen. You see for yourself. We have a discussion. You see the reason why we are fighting for a better Zimbabwe. The reason why we are fighting for better hospitals. Unlike Vanwakaita Sana, Jonathan Moyo, vaiendesa vana vavo kunze kwenyika kuchikoro, they have better access to health facilities. Ike zvine zvaakatiza, he is living good life in Kenya together with his family. We are suffering here in Zimbabwe. Our agendas, what we need, our objectives, they are all completely different. We want a better Zimbabwe, not better position. Thank you very much.